What's going on, guys? Welcome to the latest episode of Walking 90. This is episode 11. We've been on an extra week hiatus. I went on a family vacation. Cal and Ebony trashed me. And now Ebony's not here. So we're going to trash her team, who's just so happy to beat Cal's team and make the
USL. I got nothing. I got nothing.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah.
Congratulations. You beat Ford Madison. I guess everyone's able to at least take points off of them lately.
Cal. Keep that same energy you had for when we lost to them.
I don't know. I don't know where to start with it besides
introduction. Let's introduce ourselves.
Oh, yeah. I guess we could do that.
Yeah. What's going on, y'all? My name is Elliot, host. This is Kyle, cool guy beside me. But yeah, man. There was a game last night for those who don't know. I guess we'll go ahead. Let's talk about it now before we get into this interview that we got. What happened? Because I was expecting a draw. I was praying that North Carolina would at least, play.
Yeah.
I was not expecting them to pretty much dominate their game.
It was a hell of a strike. Hell of a strike for the goal. Props to Martinez. That was just a good finish. I feel like Brinos probably should have done better defending the near post, but it was still a good strike. I can't take anything away from that. It's worthy goal, probably goal of the week, to be honest. But after that, it was like Ford Madison had plenty of chances, and they just did not have anything in the final third. They've lacked a killer instinct for the last 7-8 games, it feels like. I mean, other than the Tormenta game that they won, there has been no killer instinct, whether they are coming behind for a draw, whether they are giving up late goals. They gave up a late goal against North Texas. They gave up a goal against Fort Lauderdale weeks back, even though that one was bullshit. They gave up a late goal against Toronto too. They just cannot seem to finish games out, and that's why they're in the position that they are, and they're struggling. And I don't know what needs to change other than finish your chances when you have them.
So, okay, let me ask you this. So, with Richmond, we know what has to improve. It's the midfield. Richmond is about as good as their midfield goes. And also their back line. Greenville, we know that if the back four aren't together and solid, that team is normally not going to win a game. What is the big catalyst with Ford Madison? Because outside of 2019, when you guys got into the playoffs, it's kind of feel like the last 2 years has been the same exact thing. Even with new head coach, it's feel like it's been the same exact thing. So, what necessarily is
it? Because I've looked through the 9 draws after North Texas. Out of the 9 draws, 4 of them were when they were in a winning position, 4 of them were when they were in a losing position, and the other one was the 0-0 Henny Derby. And out of those 3 that they gave up the goal, 3 of them happened after the 80th minute. And in the ones that they equalized, I think 2 or 3 of them came. I think 3 of them came after the 70th minute. So what I think they're lacking is just I would say the cohesiveness in the midfield. I think Carl Craig has tried plenty of midfield options. And other than Aaron Malloy, the midfield has changed week to week. Sometimes it's Audie Jepson and Justin Succo. Sometimes it's Carlos Gomez kind of playing more as maybe a 10. They brought in Christian Enriquez. He started 2 games, and then he hasn't been in the lineup since. Mike Vang has been on and off with injuries, so he hasn't really had a chance. I think if it's anything, it's the midfield has not been cohesive, kind of like how Greenville's back four. If it's not that back four, they're in trouble. Ford Madison, I don't think they've got a midfield that they've settled on. And really, only 5, I would say out of the starting 11, maybe 5 or 6 of the players are guaranteed to start. And how many of them should? I don't know. Brino's going to start because I don't know where the hell Chris Brady is. Turbo's going to start because he's Turbo. Jake Keegan's going to start even despite his struggles in the last month or 2. Gebhard's going to start. Aaron Malloy's going to start. And that's probably it. Everyone else, I don't know. But I would say it's the midfield. It's just not cohesive at all right now.
Well, we're going to talk more about that and more that happened in USL League One. But right now, real quick, if you're watching the show, make sure you can leave a comment. Ask us questions. This is an interactive show. The show only goes as well as you guys ask questions. So yeah, we'd love to answer those questions on the show. But right now we have an exclusive interview. To my date, my knowledge, the first ever interview with Northern Colorado's Hailstorm FC. I believe it's FC. I should know.
Hailstorm FC, yeah.
There we go. Newest head coach, Aaron Zayed. We're going to play it for you now. Hope you guys enjoy it. It should come up. Please work, for the love of God. No, what are you doing? Okay. Now my computer. Oh my God! Now my computer want to act slow.
I was going to say, we had it earlier.
We did. We literally did. All right, there we go. I'm going to be quiet. How are you doing, sir?
I am doing fantastically well. Thank you very much. Cheers for having me on the show.
No problem, man. We want to say thank you. First of all, congratulations on being named as the first ever head coach in the club's history. Just real quick, what did it mean for you to be the first ever head coach of a brand new team?
It's a major honor and privilege. It was as soon as I heard Northern Colorado were going to have a soccer team up here in USL League One. I didn't know I was going to be a part of it, but I knew I wanted to be a part of it. So look, when after discussions from that were ongoing after a few months, when I officially got offered the position, it was just an absolute honor to get to lead the very first team in Northern Colorado Hailstorms history into USL League One. It's something that honestly I'm extremely excited about, and I can't wait.
Well, yeah, we can't wait to see what you do with the club up there. So real quick, I just want to ask you, we're going to obviously talk about your time in the league and things like that, but you spent some time over in Europe, most formerly like Brave Wanderers, clubs like that. From those experiences, what are you looking to bring into this club, and how are you looking to shape this club?
Yeah, I've been fortunate to take the road less traveled, which led me to obviously playing football in Ireland, England, the Middle East, in Iran. I played over in Malaysia, Norway, in Europe, and then obviously I represented my grandparents' country, Libya, and played over in Africa. So, then I came over to America, and I had obviously my initial stint in the NASL, then the USL Championship, and then the inaugural USL League One season. So I think I'm looking to bring a little bit of everything, into this. I feel like I've been very open-minded on my journey, getting to know different soccer philosophies and cultures played all over the world. And I want to bring a bit of all of that into Northern Colorado. I appreciate that America is soccer over in America is different, and then soccer in Europe or soccer in Africa and Asia. The players, the mentality of the players are different. So I got to respect that and understand and appreciate that when I take over Northern Colorado. But yeah, I'm definitely going to take a bit of everything into this,
Yeah. I'm assuming there's a lot of, you played on a lot of different coaches, a lot of different styles. Personally, how are you looking for your teams to play?
Look, as a coach, I have, I have my own kind of philosophy and style of how I would like to play, and I'll bring some of it into Northern Colorado. But I gotta understand first and foremost the league that we're playing in, USL League One. It's a it's a fast-paced league. It's an intense league. There's a lot of transitions, in games, more so than you may see in other parts where I may have played before, or even possibly USL Championship. So I got to understand that and appreciate that, and when I build out my style and philosophy and how I'm going to play. But I look, without giving too much away. Look, I'm an attacker. I've always been an attacker, and I've always been obsessed with scoring goals. So, I'm going to have an exciting team, an attacking team. We're going to be intense. We're going to be a high tempo, intense team. We'll take advantage of a Colorado altitude when teams come up here. Absolutely, we will, and we'll try to take the game to two teams, and that's how I feel. My team are going to play. We're going to try and take the team to whoever we play against. We're not going to sit back. We're going to take the game to them. That's how I like to play. That's how I like my teams to play.
I gotta feel like having that Colorado aptitude in your back pocket is like a big bonus, a big home field advantage.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it will be. It's something that you hear about, but you don't realize until you get up here. I came here and I'm a big outdoors person. I done my first hike, and I would consider myself, I'm a decent hiker. Because I like to get out there, and that's probably my favorite kind of outdoor activity to do when I'm not playing soccer. So my first hike, I had intended to do 6.6 miles, and about 3 miles into it, I was like, I gotta turn around. This is not going as I thought it was going to go, but it gets to you. It honestly gets to you, So, my players obviously will have a preseason into them. And I'll kind of I'll incorporate the altitude into it, and we'll see. It's not going to be easy for teams to come up. Just like if we were to go down to, I don't know, maybe Tucson. The humidity down there is a struggle at times for teams to get used to.
Mm-hmm. So. Obviously, you played in this league before, USL League, with Chattanooga Red-Wolves. How is that first game going to be for you? Like, are you looking forward to that game, or is it just like another game with a schedule for you?
Nah, it's not just another game. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. I'll probably want to be out there playing alongside the team, but no, I can't wait to get started. And I'm not just saying it. I think USL League One is the most kind of exciting new league at the moment in the States. I think it's really competitive. Wow, if you look at teams from third place to 10th place. It's crazy. You won't see it anywhere else in the world. I think there's 7 teams on 24 points at the moment. Like it's ultra competitive. And that's great. Surely fans enjoy that, because whoever you play against, it's going to be a difficult game, and it can go either way. And you can't say that about USL Championship, because there is a big gulf between certain teams. MLS as well, you can't say that. It's as competitive. I think this is the most competitive league in the States. And I think that the league table doesn't lie. I think it shows that. And even over the last couple of years, it's always been ultra close, ultra competitive. And it's a growing league. There's more and more teams being added. Obviously ourselves and I think Fuego down in the West Coast is coming into the league next year. So, it's a great league to be involved in. And honestly, yeah, my first game of the season, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah, look, when the announcement came through, we were all like, "Wait, what?" I mean, also, you are the first ever USL League One player to now coach in the league as a head coach. So there you go. That's
Mm,
another notch underneath your belt.
there we are. Yeah.
um, so how did this whole opportunity come about? Obviously, we know like North Colorado is a brand new team, new franchise. I mean, new team. How did the opportunity for you to become the head coach come about?
So, so look, I went to Chattanooga Red Wolves 2 years ago when they first began, and I went in um, as player coach. I could have stayed on in 2018. I was in Charlotte Independence, and they had offered me a 2 year deal to stay on there. But then Chattanooga Red Wolves hired my ex in the 11 coach, Tim Hankinson, and he said, look, come in and play and let's get you started in coaching, because I was finishing off my UEFA licenses, my B and my A license. So that, I guess that's how the whole journey started, because it was back then where I got obviously acquainted with League One and also into coaching. So when I finished up at Chattanooga Red Wolves last year, I knew I wanted to stay in America. I wanted to stay in the States, and I did. I like USL League One, and had looked at opportunities to stay in USL League One. And I'll be straight up. I mean, I talked to teams about staying on as a player. I also talked to teams about going in as player assistant. Um, and then, obviously I was in touch with Northern Colorado from kind of very early into it, back in January, I believe. And look, conversations kind of flowed. Um, and I guess I didn't know where it was going to lead, and I don't even know if the ownership themselves knew where it was going to lead. I think they appreciated my 20 years of um, experience of obviously playing professionally. Also, obviously my experience from being in USL League One from day one, and obviously also being a part of the 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 American soccer system in the NASL and USL Championship. I think they appreciated all that, and they liked me as a soccer person, and they were looking at what role would suit me best in the organization. And then look, head coach was the role that we both figured out, and they offered it to me, and look, I wasn't going to turn it down. It was a fantastic opportunity to kind of step into the head coach role, which was definitely a role that I know I'm best suited for, and it's something that I absolutely wanted. I wasn't sure if it was going to happen this year or if I had to kind of wait a little bit longer. So I think it's I was delighted when it came about, and it's the perfect role at the perfect time for me.
So now that you do have the role, you're there as the head coach. What are the next couple of steps you're looking to do? I mean, obviously you have to build out the roster, things
Yeah.
like that. But what are the next couple of things you're looking to do?
Well, one of the things that appealed to me about coming in here was it was an absolute blank slate. Like, I get to build everything. I mean, the firstly the culture, the identity, the philosophy of the club. Um, you know, I get to build that, and I get to work on that, and I'll be working on that. Well, I've already started working on that, and how I want this club to be. Um, I mean, obviously, building building a brand new roster and technical staff is high on my agenda. It's top of my list. I want to build out my technical staff. I've already approached a few people. Hopefully I'll get that sorted sooner rather than later. I've had probably every single agent in America get in touch with me, trying to, negotiate players, which I mean, surely I'm an agent's dream, because it's not like, well, do you need a striker or do you need a goalkeeper? I need every single position. So obviously going through that, and look, there's also obviously we're going to have open tryouts, and there's a lot of people that have reached out to the club and trying to find out how they can kind of try out for the club. So I'm kind of navigating all that all at the same time, which is exciting. I mean, I love it. Honestly, I love it. My days are 24/7, which is what I want. So you're asking me what I'm doing right now. I'm doing everything. I'm busy doing everything right now.
So one more question for you. I wanted to know, like, what is going to be the youth academy structure at the club? Like, are you guys looking to have your own 2-team or youth academy club, or are you looking to be an affiliate? Like, have you guys figured that part out?
Okay, we absolutely will not be an affiliate. We're not. We're not. And that was something as well that I talked about, with the organization and how they wanted it to approach this. Obviously Colorado Rapids are down the road. They're 50 minutes down the road, and I know they are keen to have a relationship with us, which, that makes sense. And we'll have a relationship with them, but we will not be an affiliate club whatsoever. But we'll definitely utilize that relationship, and obviously Colorado Switchbacks as well. They're a couple of hours down the road, and we'll have a relationship with them. But in terms of the youth structure, that's on the agenda, but that's very low on the agenda right now. Because we're building a complex here, and it's going to be a state-of-the-art complex. For me, it'll be the best complex in the USL. We're going to have 8 to 10 soccer fields. We're going to have a full-size soccer indoor dome, and it will also obviously have our stadium as well. So I know that there are a lot of youth clubs up here in northern Colorado that are going to be utilizing our pitches. So but I mean, because of that, I know the Rapids have a youth a part of their youth organization is up here in northern Colorado, and they're going to be utilizing our facilities from what I believe. And there's another big youth organization, Arsenal Fort Collins, I think they're called, and they're going to be utilizing our complex as well. So in terms of having our own youth structure, that's something that we'll look at, but it won't be in the next year or so. That'll be something further down the line, but it's definitely something I'd like to have. I would like to have and try and build out an academy here, for sure.
Okay. Well, Coach, we want to wrap up. We want to ask you a couple of fun questions. We got to end the show on a good note. Gotta
Absolutely, yeah. Let's go.
All right. So, favorite song to play while working out?
Oh. Okay. Oh, I have loads. Let me pick one. Shipping Out to Boston.
Okay.
Yeah, Dropkick Murphys. Yeah, that's a good one. That's up tempo. That gets you going.
All right. Pineapples on pizza, yes or no?
Absolutely, yes. I love it. I mean, I always get pineapple on my pizza. Absolutely.
Favorite home dish to make?
That is a Irish shepherd's pie. I love making that. I'm actually quite good at that. So I love making Irish shepherd's pie. Yeah.
All right. So next time you come to Richmond, I'm going to be looking forward to Irish shepherd pie from you.
Yeah, I always like going to Richmond. There's a ramen place, an Asian ramen place. I don't know where it is. It's a popular place, not far from the college there. That is phenomenal. It's the best ramen I've ever had. Yeah, I must get the name for you, because every time I go to Richmond, that is where I go. I go straight there. It's unbelievable.
All right. Well, I'll send you a list of something. You tell me which one you remember. All right.
Do you know what? I'll give you this as well. I have to say this as well before you end. I've always enjoyed playing Richmond, and I'll tell you why. Because your fans, I don't. What are your fans called? The ultras that you have.
The River City Red Army.
Yeah, they're great banter. You go to clubs, around America, and sometimes the fans are funny, sometimes they're like whatever. But the Richmond fans are they're quick witted. They're good. I remember I was warming up. I think it was Charlotte Independence, or maybe it was Chattanooga. I wasn't playing, and I was warming up, and our coach was he's making changes, but it wasn't me. And the Richmond fans were always like, "Don't worry, you'll get on next. You're coming on next," and winding me up. And it was funny. It was good. They have good banter. I'll give them that. They're quick witted. I like that. I really like that in a game.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Well, Coach, as always, we want to say thank you for taking the time out of your day to talking to us, and we wish you good luck on building up Northern Colorado, and can't wait to see you guys play in 2022.
Cheers, Elliot. Speak soon.
Let me unmute myself. Yeah. I was about to have a whole conversation. So that's the newest head coach of Northern Colorado. If you want to see us do more interviews like this, let us know. Like we said, this is a show for USL League One. So if you got someone at your club that's doing something amazing, or someone that's not getting the shine that they're supposed to, because me, Cal, Ebony always believe in giving people their flowers before it's too late, let us know. We'll reach out to the club. We'll try to have them on the show, interview them, see what's good. My man Cal, from that interview, what are you expecting out of Northern Colorado? It's good to hear that they're not going to be an affiliate.
I was kind of I figured they weren't going to be an affiliate, because I feel like the options would have either been Colorado Springs and Rapids, and I feel like neither. As a fan of a team that has two MLS affiliates, it is not. I mean, it's okay if you need players really quick, and with MLS2 being a thing, it's probably best for them not to do it. And I'm okay with that. And I think that's probably the right move, whether they get the academy or not. I mean, there is talent in Colorado. There's definitely enough of a soccer pipeline from there that it could reach out. But I thought that was interesting. I also am curious to see, with him being an attacker, how his tax is going to be. I feel like it's definitely going to be more of an attacking focus, but you never know. He might surprise us and maybe find a way to be a little bit more pragmatic. But I think his knowledge of the league is going to be vital. Obviously he's played against almost all of these teams at some point in his career. So I think that will be good for him to at least have that background knowledge that a lot of the coaches, whether they came in the league in year one or brand new coaches that get hired on, he's going to have that intel on them. And granted, a lot of his team styles are probably going to change throughout time, other than Greenville. There hasn't been a club that has kept the same coach for more than 3 years. So how that's going to change, I mean, obviously, but, in terms of like even playing services, like he's going to say, like, when you're playing at City Stadium, here's what the field's going to be like. It's probably going to be like this.
Which, by the way, he said had the best atmosphere. I just want to put that out there.
I mean, he can be lying just to appease, but that's fine.
Why have to be lying? If he said 4, you would have been like, "Oh yeah, it's Ford Madison."
I mean, at least Richmond, it's like, yes, you can give a fair shout. If he had said, let me stop. Let me stop before I get in trouble. But I mean, he's gonna say, like, with the different stadiums and how their fields is, or how the field size is, that's going to give him an edge as well. So I think it's kind of interesting how his knowledge going into the league and it's just playing background in America in general. I think it's going to be good, and it's kind of cool to see, a USL League One player being a coach.
Yeah, it's good to see. It lets you know like what the league is expecting to do. So yeah, it's dope to see. But let's go ahead. Let's move on into it, man. We got a game coming up tomorrow. Toronto, prime time.
Gotta love the Toronto games.
Man, so for those who don't know, Toronto's gonna mess around and look their way to the playoffs just because no are allowed in Canada right now. My bad.
If you're not vaxxed and you don't have your visa cleared, you're not playing.
No. So that has messed up Greenville. That surely messed up Richmond.
It's gonna mess up Ford Madison next week.
I don't know how many people from Chattanooga about to get in. Like, I think half the team about to be left.
I don't know. I feel like it's going to be interesting. Like, this will be a good test for Chattanooga. They get the big win against Omaha. They got all the momentum on their side. Like, if they can really start, and with Omaha playing North Texas, they can really start creating some distance. But this is the kind of game where it's like, I wouldn't say it's a trap game, because by now I think everyone's aware of the difficulties in trying to prepare for a match in Canada. But this would be the elements of a trap game, or this could be the elements of a letdown game after the week that you just had.
Yeah, that's
I still
true.
think they'll win. I still think Chattanooga will win because they somehow are fine. They're the opposite of Fort Madison. They have a killer instinct. They find ways to draw or win. So I wouldn't be surprised.
He has 8 goals in the year, and I swear 7 of them are after the 83rd minute.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, they're going to score in like the 80 something minute. It's going to be that. It's going to be 1-0 scoring in the 80th minute.
What's his name? His name is going to kill me if I don't. Oh, Juan Galliardes.
Galliardes, yeah.
Galliardes. Yeah. Homeboy is like, I don't know what he is, man. He's the elite super sub in USL League One.
He comes like. If he starts, he's not going to be productive. All you need him to do is bring him on in like the 60th minute, and things just happen somehow.
And I don't know what it is, because Obleda did this before last year with who he did this with last year? Marky Hernandez. Like, he would bring him on in like the 70th minute, and he would score like 2. He would get like 2 assists and a goal every game. But every game that he started, he wouldn't do nothing. And I'm like, yo, how is Obleda finding these people? Like, how is he doing this? But yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting game, man. Like, it depends on who Chattanooga takes up, like who they're allowed to take up.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to say it, like, Toronto is going to get into the playoffs just because of, like, what they're allowed into the country. Like,
yeah, and they're already sitting, like, right now, technically they are sitting 6.
They're sitting in the pyramid of doom. Well, of hell. They're us, them, and Greenville all sitting on 6 wins, 6 losses, and 6 draws.
Fort Madison has 5 wins. Thank you very much. God damn it. Yeah, there is there's basically, if you look at the standings, there's Chattanooga, first place, 32 points. Omaha with a game in hand, second with 30. And then Revs 2, 24 points. Tormenta, 24 points. North Texas, 24 points. Toronto, Richmond, Greenville, Fort Madison, all with 24 points. But Revs 2 and North Texas still have a game in hand on Toronto, Richmond, Greenville, Madison, and 3 games on hand on Tormenta. So it's looking, and I mean, within those other teams, like North Texas has 6 wins, Toronto 6 wins, Richmond, Greenville 6 wins, and Fort Madison has 5. And Fort Lauderdale is 2 points behind them with 22. Like, it is absolutely, pretty much everyone has a shot at the playoffs, except maybe North Carolina. Yeah,
North Carolina is maybe the only team right now they're not eliminated, but you can be like, all right, we can kind of start pushing. If they lose this weekend to Richmond, you can kind of start pushing them away.
Right.
Tucson, just because how tight the table is, they can still finagle their way back in.
I mean, if they get a win, they're right there on 22. So,
yeah. It's going to be interesting, man. That's what we're trying to tell people. Like, keep an eye out for USL League One. Let's just go ahead and talk about the rest of these games, man. Richmond and North Carolina. Like, what are you like? I'm nervous about this game because the last 2 played them, they kicked our ass.
You haven't beaten them all season?
I don't know what to expect, man. I don't know what this.
I feel like this is the kind of game.
Was March 2018. That's the last time we beat North Carolina.
I mean, granted, there was a 2-year, different league, but I would say this is the kind of game where it's like you would expect Richmond to win. It is at home. They seem to be figuring it out. It seems like things are getting better. North Carolina just played midweek, so they might come in a little bit tired.
Yeah.
This seems like the recipe for a Richmond win, but North Carolina, they might be able to sketch out a draw. Like, I don't know. I legitimately don't know. I would expect a Richmond win, though. Like, that's the thing. Like, I would expect Richmond to win, but I don't know. Like, there's something about North Carolina with you guys where it's just like unable to just simply get over the hump with them.
So real quick, just to give the listeners a little bit of background on Richmond. Richmond has yet to have back-to-back wins or like a sandwich, so like a draw, win, draw, or a win, draw, win. Has yet to happen this year. Richmond's on the verge of that happening. Also, we haven't lost a game in our last 5 games. We've also I'm trying to remember. We are better at home than we are on the road, and North Carolina is the worst team on the road in the league. So it just gives you like it seems like it go Richmond, but then you're like, we've seen this before. And who knows? Who knows what can happen?
And the last two North Carolina's last 2 road games were a 4-0 loss to North Texas and a 3-0 loss to Revs 2. But Revs 2 basically played MLS guys at that point.
Right. So it's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be very, very interesting. Next game we got coming up on Saturday, you got South Georgia Tormenta versus Fort Lauderdale. Can we just take a moment and just say that when Micheletto retire, he needs to have his own statue in South Georgia?
They got to retire that number. No one could wear his number ever again. Like you got to pretty much name the stadium after him. Like you got to do the whole thing.
Okay, let me ask you this, and maybe this is a little bit too hyperbole for USL League One, but would you say like he's almost like the Steven Gerrard of USL League One? Like he's with Tormenta through all of it, man.
I was going to say, going through all of it, not winning the league, there is some similarities there. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of another player that it might be.
Outside of the first half of year one, where they were the best team in USL League One, South Georgia's been on a decline, and it would have been very easy for him to leave after last year. Like it would have been like, all right, you know, I came up with the club to play in League One. I've been here for 2 years. I'm gonna go try something else. Instead, he stayed.
Well, and I was gonna say, I feel like teams would have wanted him. Like I feel like all the other USL League One teams would go for him.
Hello, yes,
yeah. So like the fact that he is staying is also a testament to that. I'm honestly trying to think of another player, but I mean, yeah, he is. I would say he is Mr. Tormenta. He might end up being Mr. USL League One. Like, yes, he is probably not going to end as the highest goal scorer. They'll probably be, Terzaghi or Greg Hers. One of those 2 guys will probably end up being the highest goal scorer in USL League One history. I don't think he has the most appearances, which, part of that is injuries. That's not on him. But I feel like if you're thinking of USL League One, especially in the early days, he's going to be like that. Like if you had to put together a Hall of Fame for USL League One in, say, 20 years, he's got to be one of the first people you put in there because he was the stall. Like between him and Turbo, like no one else has stayed with their team since day one. I think unless Richmond has someone, I can't think of anyone like Pollock.
For
stayed. Richmond
Bulldog.
Okay.
Bulldog been there for us for a minute.
Micheletto.
And Alvon Magales.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I'm trying to think, does Chattanooga have anyone?
I don't think so anymore. Like if Mangles had stayed, he would have been that guy, but he's out doing a blog. He's got a whole blog of hiking and shit.
Yeah. Shaq Adams out in Tucson, but he's kind of hit and miss right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if there was a USL, maybe this is off season.
Obviously, Omaha will have guys as well, but this is Omaha's second
Omaha's
year.
Going to try to buy out an entire wing and be like, "These guys are it. Don't worry about the rest."
Well, Micheletto could play anywhere. He could play anywhere on the pitch. I swear, he could probably be a goalie if Yara wasn't, the number 1.
Yeah, right. So, and I mean, back to Micheletto real quick. He had 64 appearances, so in 20 goals. I'm assuming like he's going to be in, but. They play Fort Lauderdale, and Fort Lauderdale has been a very interesting team, to say the least. Like, they were coming in, they had good form, but in their last 5, man, it's been rough. 2 losses, 2 draws, a win. Can you see a scenario where they can pull the upset over South Georgia? I don't know if you call it upset, but can they take points off them?
Easily. Like Fort Lauderdale is a quintessential 2 team. You don't know what you're going to get out of them. One week, they might come in and win 4-0, 3-0, absolutely dominate you. Other times, they're just going to get completely dominated. I don't know with them. They could do it. I could see this ending as a draw just because I feel like the margins are still close enough that a draw seems feasible. But Tormenta seems to be, they've been playing better. They're at home. Like that could be the difference between a draw and a win for them. But yeah, I'll say Tormenta wins. It's going to be a very close game, but I can easily see Fort Lauderdale coming in and getting a draw or even winning it. Like they are capable.
Yeah, I don't know. I can see it too, man. I can see it too. I think
they have enough of an attack to do it.
That's true. That's very true. And I think if South Georgia wants to stay in that 4 spot right now, because they play the most games out of everyone else, at least 2 games more than everyone else in USL League One. If they want to stay in pace, man, and kind of be like, all right, we got to close out games, they can't afford to drop points because very soon in 2 weeks, you can go from 4th to 9th like that. So,
and that's the thing. Like the next 2 weeks are pretty much going to be, you can't drop points. If you drop points, unless you're Omaha or Chattanooga, dropping points is going to potentially kill your season.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy, man. It's going to be crazy. So next game we have coming up, Union Omaha, North Texas. I don't know what it is about this game, man. Like, I feel like this game got a red card in it. I feel like it does. What you think, man?
For all of the rivalry pushing Omaha does with everyone else, this is the rivalry that Omaha had. Like, this is their rival. North Texas is Omaha. Like, these 2 teams don't like playing each other. And North Texas, they're going to play aggressive.
Yeah.
And this is a game where I feel like when you think of North Texas, these are the type of games that they just start winning and they sneak in and they get a 3 seed and they're right there, potentially going, like last year, they were right there.
And this is the thing. North Texas played Union Omaha twice. And look, the last time they played them, the last day of the season, October 30th, man.
That is going to be that's I'm gonna guess that's the game of the week at that point. I know there's probably other games that have huge implications, but that feels like it's gonna be the game of the week. But no, I don't know what to think of this game because Omaha's probably gonna want to lick their wounds, and the last time they had lost a game, they bounced back and went on a long stretch without losing. I don't know, man. Like these 2 teams, just anytime they play, it's going to get physical. There's probably going to be a bunch of cards. The refs are going to lose control of the game.
Mm-hmm.
This is chaos. This is chaos game of the week.
Yeah,
by far.
I feel the same thing, man. And both teams kind of come on the same amount of form. Union Omaha has 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss, while North Texas has 3 draws and 2 wins. It's just the thing about it. It's just like you don't know what you're gonna get out of. You don't know what you're gonna get out of North Texas,
right?
You don't know what you're gonna get, and like we got a comment right here. It says if North Texas pulls off a win in Union Omaha, look out, favorable schedule enough to make a run to number 1. Which is very true. It's very true. Like,
but we've also expected North Texas to be in this position, and at the beginning of the season, they were struggling and they could not defend. And I don't know how much of those issues are fixed. They definitely have a favorable schedule, but it seems, at this point, is there really a favorable schedule? Because anyone could beat anyone at this point in this league. Like it is that balance that, there's not an OCB anymore. There's no 3 easy points. Even North Carolina it's not guaranteed 3 easy points.
No, and that's very true. So this is North Texas schedule going down the stretch. Like we said, they got Union Omaha on the road. They play FC Tucson at home, Chattanooga on the road, South Georgia on the road, back again against Union Omaha. And then they play North Carolina on the road, Tucson on the road, They come to Richmond on a Sunday, which is weird. Oh no, we go to them on a Sunday. I hate that. They go to Fort Lauderdale. They play Revs 2, and they close out against Union Omaha. So I mean, like Al said, it's a favorable schedule. You expect them to at least have 4 wins out of that. Can they make a run to number 1? Yeah, it's just not hard to say.
All it takes is Chattanooga to go back to drawing, and Omaha just needs a slip up or two against potentially North Texas. Like, yeah, I mean, they can. Like I said, right now, if I had to put it in tiers, I feel like right now it's going for the 1 seed, which is Omaha and Chattanooga, and then there's home playoff, and that's probably where North Texas. And I don't know who else I'm going to put there. Maybe Toronto, if they can continue to get that Canada home luxury. And then the next tier is making playoff contender, and that's where you got Tormenton, Richmond, Greenville, Madison, Revs 2, and then you kind of got everyone else. Like it right now, North Texas is kind of in this. They could be a number 1. Yeah. I wouldn't be. I think they're going to get a 3 or 4 at the rate with the way they're playing that schedule. A 3 or 4 seems the bare minimum.
Yeah, it seems like the bare minimum, man. I mean, I agree with that tier system. Like, I think Chattanooga and UYOM are definitely playing for the 1 seed. I think right underneath that, lock up a home playoff spot, I would put North Texas. So I'll kind of put South Georgia in there, and also maybe Toronto, because that Canadian home field advantage is priceless. And after that, it's kind of like a toss-up about playoff contention. Only team that's out of it right now is North Carolina.
Right.
That's it. Everyone else,
and they're going to cause enough chaos. They're going to cause enough chaos, like Evan said.
Yeah, and I even think putting Tucson, you could put Tucson in the playoff contention until that mathematically eliminated. 2 wins and a draw puts you back into it. So you can't say they're eliminated yet. And like we got another comment from L. He said 5 matches left for North Texas. 3 of the 5 remaining road games are against bottom of the 3 teams in the league, which is true. Who's to say they can't? I mean, obviously they put 4 against North Carolina. Who's to say they can't do it again? They're a better team than FC Tucson. They're a better team than Fort Lauderdale.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's not hard to say. It's
I mean, hell, in terms of talent, they're probably.
They're the deepest. They're the deepest.
They got enough talent, right? It's the consistency.
Yeah, 100%. That if there's a game you want to watch, I would say that one, man. 10 o'clock game, 10 o'clock. We go out to the desert, man. FC Tucson just recently, right before we started recording. Vibes. They dropped a video with Shaq Adams, which, by the way, what is with all these USL League One teams started doing media content now? Richmond put out some videos. Greenville dropped the jewelry. What's going on? Because before we won't get no content, nothing. Now everyone want to be dropping content here and there. What's going on?
I'm okay with it. Look, we need, if you want to get people interested in the league, you got to put out shit that's worth watching.
Yeah, it is
like
true.
It is going to be a big, you got to continue doing it. You can't just bank on, oh yeah, we win, because I mean that's only going to get you so far. You got to put out content.
That's true. That is very true.
Even if you're not winning, you still got to put out content. Even if you draw every match, you might end up being the Arsenal of USL League One.
Hey, yo, real quick. We don't talk Prem on this show at all. I just find it hilarious. This is the only point we're going to make about Prem this week. I find it hilarious. Arsenal is about to get blown out in 3 consecutive because they're losing the city. And they tweeted out, was like, hey, Christmas time, you can buy a whole bunch of Arsenal jerseys and retro jerseys. And I'm like, keep that they learned from Forward Madison. You can suck as much as you want to, but we going to push this content, baby.
We may not win, but we're going to look hella, we're going to have the drip. Losing, drip solves problems. Drip helps ease the burden of losing. Drip will always make you feel a little less crappy when your team draws or loses. If you got the drip.
Who was it? It was Deion Sanders who said, look good, play good, feel good.
Except they're not playing good. Except Fort Madison's not playing good. So you're kind of missing that stuff.
That should be Fort Madison's logo. Feel good, play good. We look good. We're going to play good.
Hey, whatever works. But yes, no, the content I'm appreciating. I need more teams to put out content. I hope that Fuego and Hailstorm also do it. Spokane, whenever they join, Fort Wayne, like when all these teams start getting in, that's what we want to see. We want to see content.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be banter. It doesn't need to be jokes all the time. Just put up stuff that is interesting to watch.
Yeah, we want to get to know these players. We want to get to know the staff, things like that. Shows like this, Walking 90 is great. Podcasts are great around the league that we have. It's great. We want more of that content. We want more of it.
Keep doing it.
But let's talk about this FC Tucson Greenville game, because first of all, Ebony, if she calls this, it's the greatest.
We got to get her something. We got to get her something. I don't know what we need to get her, but she needs to get something.
So, first of all, also, let me apologize to Greenville fans out there. Ever since I said Harks to Atlanta, they have been trash. I feel like Harks saw that comment and was like, "No, I got job security here, buddy." Suck. Like, I don't know, man. It's like ever since that break where Dallas J was playing internationals, they haven't been the same, man. And to be honest with you, yo, like we don't want to be sitting here like just going at coaches, but you kind of got to question what Harks was thinking going into this game. I understand injury crisis, things like that, but how don't you start Dallas J? I get it. He hasn't been in good form, but that's not entirely on him. But in a game, and the broadcast was kind of making this thing, in the first half, both teams probably don't see this as a must-win right now. But for Richmond, it was a must-win, because if Richmond lose that game, it's hard to see us making the playoffs. Greenville was this game. They jumped to third, and they kind of had cushion. Now it's kind of like, you look at Greenville, you're like, what's going on, guys?
And it's one thing, like their stretch. It's one thing. I was like, all right, you lose to Tormenta. Okay, fine, whatever. On the road, what? Well, actually, it goes further back, like North Texas. Okay, fine. Mm-hmm. You lose to North Texas. Fine. You bounce back. You beat North Carolina. You squeak by them, but you still win. Okay, everything's okay. You lose to Tormenta. All right, not ideal. Fine. You play Ford Madison. You go down 2-0. And, I mean, you come back and draw, but it was just like okay. You draw against Chat, in which okay, again, not terrible. You beat Revs 2, you're back in. All right, cool. But then you have a 0-0 draw against North Carolina. You blow the 2-0 lead against Tormenta. You blow the lead against Chattanooga. You draw 0-0 against Toronto when you had a chance to win it. You lose to Tormenta again. You lose to Fort Lauderdale on the road, and then you lose to Richmond at home. Like, it is a snowball effect right now with them. And I don't know what happened with that break. I don't know if Harks is overthinking it. I know they got injuries as well. Like, injuries are definitely played a part, but this is, I don't know. Like, if they can't win this game, if they haven't hit the panic button, you are slamming that panic button, because the schedule doesn't get easier for them. Like, it does get easier, but it doesn't.
And so I was listening to Share Stadium, which, by the way, is a Greenville Triumph podcast. Follow them. Guys do good work out there. And they were just kind of talking about, like, they can kind of see it in just certain guys are not checking out, but you can kind of see it's kind of leading in that direction. And that makes you think of, like, one or two things. Is this team going into the post-championship hangover? Or is this team just on tired legs and they just can't get out of that rut? Because I guarantee you, I don't have the stats to prove it right now, but just off of memory and watching all these USL League One games, when it comes to Greenville, you can call 9 out of the 11 starters, or maybe 10 out of the 11 starters for every game. And you think, like, over the course of
when
time,
healthy,
when healthy, and over the course of time, like, those games builds up, those injuries build up. Has it caught up with them? It's very easy to make the case that, is it a championship hangover? Maybe so. Who knows?
But even with the legs, it's not like they've been playing midweek. Like, before the Richmond game, they played the previous Sunday, and then before that, they played the previous Saturday. And before that, it was the Friday. Like, it's not like they're playing, like, Wednesday, Friday, Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday, Sunday. It's not like they're doing midweek games lately. Like
Yeah,
the last
that's
midweek game was way back against Ford Madison.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not even like
Yeah.
you can. I mean, yeah, the legs are still tired, but they're not as tired as some of these other teams that have been playing midweek games.
Yeah. So after this Tucson game, they had Toronto at home, Chattanooga at home, Tucson again at home. They played Fort Madison on the road, Fort Lauderdale at home, Union Omaha on the road, Revs 2 at home, Chattanooga at home, and then they close back in North Carolina. If, let's just say this, if they draw or lose against FC Tucson, if Greenville wants to have any kind of shot of making it to the playoffs, having a good run, that 3-game stretch at home, and we know what the I always mess with me. Reedy River Riot. Yeah, it's hard. Too many R's. I need to throw something else in there. If they want to have an opportunity to get inside, I'm pretty sure that supporters are going to be in full force. They have to, at max, you have to get 7 points. At max, you have to get 7 points out of that 3-game home stretch. And then just not hope and pray, but take points off of Union Omaha and Chattanooga. Can you get in? Yeah, you can. Like I'm imagining to get into the playoffs is going to take at least anywhere from, for every team that's on 24 points, it's going to take anywhere from 14 to 17 points to get into the playoffs.
In the next 6 or 7 games, yeah.
Yeah. And if you're Greenville, you don't want it to come down to Chattanooga at home and North Texas. I mean, not North and North Carolina. North Carolina. Lord Jesus, I'm all over the list. You don't want to come down to those 2 games.
Yeah, I mean, because you think about it, I mean, Ford Madison's end of the season stretch is, I mean, it's not easy, but they get Revs 2 back to back. They get Richmond on the road. They get Tucson at home. They get Chattanooga at home. So you're looking at something like that. You're looking at Revs 2, their end of the season. It's kind of, I think it's like North Texas, Greenville, Toronto. They go to Toronto. That could be quite the game. Like you're looking at some of these other late seasons. Greenville's got it. I mean, those 3 games, yeah, you got to beat. If you get a draw against Chattanooga, but you win your other 2, you're fine. Even if you can get 2 of the wins, you're fine. But I still think Greenville still has it in them to do it. You don't magically. I don't know what this bad stretch is. I don't know what the reason is. At some point, Harks is probably going to go back to, we're going to defend the living hell. And if we got to draw 1-1 or 0-0 or win 1-0, we're doing that. I feel like he's going to get back to, I don't care about this attacking. Lomas, you just stand up there and do whatever it takes, and we're just going to bunker down. I feel like he's going to have to go back to what worked.
Yeah. You kind of got to. You got to make it simple.
And if that means some guys are going to have to sit on the bench or come off the bench, so be it. When push comes to shove, he's got to make this. He's got to make that move.
Yeah, I will say this: if there's any team that can play low ball, bunker, it's Greenville. Because even against Richmond, so for those who probably watched the game that fell asleep during the first half, I don't blame you. The first half was boring. Greenville had a lot of possession, but their shots were all over the place. Like it wasn't. Outside of the Brandon Fickey chance that came off of the corner that he hit with his thigh that Akira saved, Greenville didn't really produce anything. Like Lomas, I don't know what it was. I don't know if he checked out or he was just like, but he did not. I really thought he was going to get Richmond problems. He didn't the entire game. And it also seemed like when Greenville went down a goal, it was kind of just like head just hung. Like I think after Richmond scored that first goal, I don't remember Greenville really doing anything to really threaten us. And that's weird for Richmond because we're used to being under the gun and the Akira having to make stupid saves in his life. Yeah.
I think they just need to get a win and they'll be back. And this is probably the best chance.
Yeah. So those are the games coming up for this week. Before we talk about the games coming up next week, because once again, this is a bi-weekly show. Do you want to dive into the power rankings real quick?
Do we want to talk about the mess of the power rankings?
Dude. Okay, maybe
I mean, it looks like it got fixed, but it looks like it has been fixed. But man, there were some blunders.
It was the one that I read, because everyone goes look at the power rankings. Okay, we all hate it, but we all can look at it at the same time. And I looked at the Richmond one. I'm like, why are they talking about Madison?
I honestly, there's 3 that talked about Madison in a row. Like, I feel like because North Texas was about Madison because they just played. Then Toronto's was about Madison because they just played. And then Richmond's was about Madison. I was like, wait, what's going on? Did I misread it? And then Madison's was right up there. I was like, am I just illiterate at the moment?
I blame Cam 100%.
I was going to say, we can't blame Ryan anymore.
No, it's a fix. It's a fix. I blame
Ryan.
Cam.
Ryan went out, decided to go down to Texas and make moves there.
Right.
Congrats to him, though.
Congrats to Ryan. So yeah, let's look at his power rankings. Shall I do it as always from the bottom up?
Yeah.
All right. Well, at number
also, this
12,
is before the North Carolina Madison game.
Yeah. So keep that in mind. Coming in at number 12, we have Greenville. At 11, we have North Carolina. I don't want to say North Carolina so much. At Fort Lauderdale. 9, we have FC Tucson. 8, we have South Georgia. 7, Fort Madison. 6, Richmond. 5, Toronto New England Revolution. 2, Union Omaha. 1, Chattanooga Red Wolves. So, my friend, would you change anything around? Would you keep things the same? What would you say?
I feel like Fort Madison should honestly be lower. They should not be at. I feel like they should probably be below Tormenta.
Wow.
When you go into a week, when you go into a week and you drop, when you have a chance of having 6 points and you only get 2, yeah. I mean, the draw, like, it's the matter of how they ended up with the draws. You have a lead late and you lose the lead both times. You were on the cusp of getting 6 points and you only get 2 because of late goals. You kind of, I feel, and especially, I would put them 8th, 9th. I think that would be understandable.
Yeah, true. I mean, I don't see no difference with it. I am surprised.
It's just a matter of the draws. If it was going, if they had come back to get the draws, that'd be one thing. But it's the fact that they blew it. They had allowed 2 late goals in each. They allowed the late goals in each game, which is why I have them lower.
Yeah. I see no difference with the power rankings.
Otherwise, I have no issue with the rest of the power rankings. Like, everything else seems fine. I can't argue any of the other ones.
It's just weird to see Revs 2 at 3 and Greenville at the bottom, where at the start of the year we would have had that totally fixed because we were like, oh, Greenville's.
Oh yeah, it would have been up. It would have been flip flop.
Yeah, it's just weird, man. It's so weird. So going. Oh, matter of fact, you already gave your vibes and chaos pick of the week, so that's cool. Never mind. I was about to.
Yeah, I was going to say vibes: Greenville, Tucson, chaos, North Texas, Omaha.
Yeah, so fans will get better at putting those polls out there so that when you can vote, we can know what y'all guys think. But this is week 21 now, and then week 22 is the following week. So This is week 22 matches. Real quick, we're just gonna run through them. On Wednesday, you have the Henny Derby, Richmond versus Fort Madison. You also have Revs 2 versus FC Tucson. On Friday, you have Greenville Triumph playing at home against Toronto FC. Saturday, you have North Carolina FC playing Union Omaha, Fort Lauderdale versus Chattanooga Red Wolves, North Texas versus FC Tucson. And then Sunday, we have a Sunday game. Sunday Night Football. Dun, 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 dun. We're about to get sued. Revs 2 versus Tormenta. Real quick, my man. What's your vibes pick of the week? What is your chaos pick of the week in that game? In that week 22.
Vibes.
Once again, for those who don't know, the Vibes game is a game that you sitting back, you chilling, you cracking a beer, and you just there for the fun.
I mean, Revs 2 Tucson is interesting. It's interesting because, I mean, are we going to get Revs 2 with MLS players or are we going to get Revs 2?
Ooh.
I don't know. Like that's like, and I mean, I just like, I don't feel good about Chattanooga and Fort Lauderdale. Like, I feel like that's not going to be entertaining. North Texas, I feel like will kind of blow by Tucson. Omaha, North Carolina would be hilarious if North Carolina could take points off of that. But yeah, I think I'm going to go Revs to Tucson just because I feel like if this was the one on Friday, or if this was one on Saturday, I would pick that to watch. It's interesting. Yeah. Also, 5:30 p.m. start time for the Henny Derby. So 6:30 your time.
Yeah, 6:30 my time.
Weird.
I mean, most of the game starts at 6:30.
I know, but I mean, for me, it's weird because it's like most games start at 7.
Yeah, people are hitting me up already. Like, yo, you ready for the Henny Derby next week? And I'm like, I'll be getting off work.
Right. I'm gonna literally get home from work and turn this match on. Like, that is probably what's gonna happen.
Yeah, like that's about it. It's not gonna be too much.
Yeah. But no, that I'm gonna say Tucson Revs 2 is my vibes game of the week.
So what you got as the chaos pick of the week?
Non-Henny Derby selection. Let's see. Fort Lauderdale, Chattanooga. Seems like there's some chaotic energy there because I feel like this is a peak Chattanooga game where Fort Lauderdale will be up like 2-1 because they will score 2 goals early, and then Chattanooga is just going to get a goal like right before halftime, and then another goal in like the 87th minute. It just seems like this is a quintessential Chattanooga game.
That's very true. That's very true. So real quick, man, before we get up out of here, this is your goal scorers for USL League One right now. You got Mario Lomas on 12, Emiliano Terzaghi on 12, who shout out to him. He is now the quote unquote record holder for most goal scorers in USL League One. Before we finish out the rest, oh, Kyle, this is a comment for you. I'm gonna put this in here for you, just so you can be happy.
There we go.
Oh,
I'm glad I have some influence in a positive way.
Real quick, man, what's going on with your boy Jay Keegan? Because he was supposed to break this record of Ronaldo Damas 21 goals in the league all time, and he's been stuck on what 6 goals? Six goals for the longest time.
He I just can't finish. I don't know. Like, he's been in so many good positions to score. Against North Carolina yesterday, he had a good chance at the top of the box, didn't score. Against, I think it was Revs 2. No, it was the Toronto FC 2 match a couple days ago. He had a clear goal, didn't score. Like, he's been in the positions. He's just not scoring them. I don't know why. Tormenti decided to pass. Great cross for Josiah Trimmingham. That was awesome. But he's in the positions. I don't know. Like, I don't know what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
But he's in the positions. Like, it'd be one thing if he was just like isolated and not getting chances and just not able to get any shots off, but he's getting the shots off. He's in the right positions. It's just not going in.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think it's just like the rest of the team. There's just not that killer instinct that's kicking in yet.
So yeah, that's gonna be interesting. So Greg Hurst is on 9, Marco Micheletta's on 9, Juan Gallardes is on 8, Garrett McCullin is on 8, and then Keegan, Mitchell Curry, Sean Honda on 6. So right now, if you had to put your money on someone, who do you have finishing with the Golden Boot this year?
I think now that it seems like the team is figuring out how to get the best out of him. I think Terzaghi's starting. I mean, we've seen it. Terzaghi's definitely picking it back up. He had a slow start. He seems to be picking it back up. I'd go him or Greg Hurst. I think with the injuries that have seemingly hit Omaha's attackers, I think the team's going to rely more and more on Greg Hurst. So I can see those two being the top 2, and I think Terzaghi is going to have that edge just because I think now Richmond is at the very least, he seems to be playing better himself and getting himself back into the goal scoring form.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that as well. I'll put my money on Emmy because Richmond's going to go as far as he goes, just, finishing. Not saying Richmond doesn't have finishers. I mean, John Bolaños, Olex, you got guys on the team that can finish. It's just if Emmy is scoring those chances, I feel more confident in Richmond, finishing out the year in a playoff spot. A person that I will put as the dark horse, I will put Micheletto, because not even him scoring the chances like that, but he's taking all the PKs for South Georgia. So
my dark horse would be McLaughlin from Toronto. Like when he scores, he seems to score. Like when he scores, and if there's a game he scores 2 or 3. Like that is, it's not like he's scoring like a game after game. It's like he'll score 2 goals in a game, not score for another 3, score another 2 goals.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, my man, that is our whole wrap up of USL League One. Anything else for you before we close out this episode?
I would say check out the supporters of the month thing that USL League One's doing. There's been some good people in it, so check them out. Check out the work that they're doing. That's good work that the league is doing, and good fans to highlight as well. Make
it's
sure
more
to check
than
out.
just me and Kyle USL League One, folks. I promise you, there's more than just me and Kyle.
I'm just trying to take a back seat now. Like I had my fun.
Right.
This is my platform now. This is the platform that and forwards backwards. Like that's what I'm gonna try and do. But yeah, check it out. Check out
media here. We're trying to be proper media.
Right. We're gonna step it up. And when Ebony joins us, it's gonna be the same way. But I would say just check out as many matches as you can. If you have any questions, hit us up on Twitter at Walking90Pod, or you can hit us up on our individual Twitters as well.
Don't hit me up. I don't tweet anymore. I'm a holy person now.
You have calmed down the tweets. Is it because school's starting up again?
Yeah, it has, man. I don't have a whole bunch of free time. Yeah, man. As always, guys, we want to say thank you for taking the time of y'all day and for listening. Just take a second, leave a review, give us a like. We're trying to end this year. Trust me, you're gonna get a lot more parts, a lot more interviews. We're trying to end this year with at least 10 likes per episode. You're trying to have at least 50 subscribers. This is year 1 of Walking 90. Promise you we're not going anywhere. But we just want to say thank you guys for taking the time of your day for listening to us. As always, my man Kyle, thank you for joining me today, my man.
Thank you for having me. And yeah, Ebony again, she was on vacation. She'll be back with us in the next episode.
She will be. All right, y'all. As always, we'll holler at y'all later. Be easy, be cheesy. Support USL League One.
Get your shots.